The strikes, in particular with ballistic missiles, will in no way affect the position of the Kremlin dictator Vladimir Putin on Ukraine, for example, in terms of a potential truce and an end to the terror of Ukrainian cities. This was stated by retired colonel of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, pilot-instructor Roman Svitan, on the air of Fabrika Novostey. The Kerch Bridge will not affect Putin's position at the moment in any way. That is, a strike on the bridge is not a strike on Putin's position. The Kerch Bridge is a logistics chain through which about 30% of military cargo is currently transported. They are used in the Kherson and Zaporizhzhya directions. The destruction of the Kerch Bridge is important to us, as it is the destruction of a logistics chain. Let's say they have built a similar bridge now, a railway from Rostov towards Mariupol to Volnovakha, Svitan said. According to him, other enemy logistics facilities are also currently in operation, for example, 2 bridges across the Mius and Kalmius rivers. That is, we need to hit there too. Kalmius in Ukraine, Mius near Taganrog. This is Russia. But there are 2 rivers running parallel. Bridges from Rostov to Taganrog and further across the Mius to Mariupol, they also need to be destroyed. This is the same task. Until now, we have not hit them, the expert said. According to him, the only thing that can influence the position of the Russian dictator is ballistic strikes on decision-making centers, in particular the Kremlin. As media wrote, recently the representative of the Ukrainian Navy, Dmitry Pletenchuk, told what is currently happening on the Crimean bridge. According to him, the Russian occupiers have effectively turned Crimea into a military base, which requires the functioning of logistics, the placement of personnel, and a large number of military facilities. Illegal Russian tourists say that they are completely undressed. The inspection is quite picky because the Russians are afraid of possible actions from our special services. In addition, this is due to the increase in the flow of transportation to Crimea on the eve of the season. Of course, no explosions can scare Russian tourists away from Ukrainian Crimea. You will also see how they will step over oil stains on the beaches of Anapa this year, Pletenchuk emphasized. He also added that the occupiers have effectively turned Crimea into a military base, which means the location of logistics, the placement of personnel, and a large number of specific military facilities. We should not forget that they use Crimea to strike the territory of Ukraine with ballistics. That is, the Iskander-Ms, as a rule, operate from the territory of the temporarily occupied Crimea, Pletenchuk said. At the same time, the Financial Times wrote that the future German Chancellor Friedrich Merz promised Ukraine a Taurus so that it could strike the Crimean bridge. The German politician declared his readiness to hand over such missiles after the Russian Federation's strike on the city of Sumy.
Ukrainian troops have destroyed 3 columns of Russian military equipment and up to 200 infantrymen while thwarting a Russian attack on their position, Ukrainian military reported. Posting on Telegram app, the Ukrainian military said that Russians lost around 200 infantrymen, 20 motorcycles and up to 20 units of equipment, including 3 tanks, infantry fighting vehicles, other MTLBs in just 1 day of fighting. The 3rd Mechanized Battalion of the Ukrainian Armed Forces counterattacked Russians who sought to break through Ukrainian positions on motorcycles and tanks. Russians could not escape from Ukrainian drone. The video shared on Telegram app showed the destruction of Russian military equipment. The Ukrainian military stated in the post that thanks to prompt and accurate work of Ukrainian drones and the 31st Brigade, by the evening, all Russian military equipment was destroyed, and the remaining Russian infantrymen were hiding from Ukrainian drones. The location and date of the fighting has not been revealed. A video has been circulated in social media, showing Ukrainian servicemen rescuing their fellow soldier who was trapped in a swamp. The drone operators of the 63rd Brigade and an infantryman of the 60th Separate Mechanized Brigade saved a Ukrainian soldier, despite being under Russian fire themselves. Risking their own lives, Ukrainian servicemen rushed to the site of the incident to rescue their friend. The video footage published in Telegram app shows the operation to rescue the Ukrainian soldier from the swamp. Later, the rescued soldier was evacuated from the area. It's unknown in what part of the frontline the operation to save the soldier took place.
І вона йому в руках зірвалася. Він показував, ті руки трохи опечені. У нас не було ніякої дилеми витягувати або витягувати